May I request the chairperson, Sri Ram Sahasranam, co-founder and director, STEMM Solutions Bharat, to come on the stage, please. Sri Ram Sahasranam is the co-founder and director of STEMM Solutions. STEMM Solutions, through its products Praxify, which I am familiar with, and Connect Healthy, is curating small health cities in Asia, covering millions of patients connected to hospitals, laboratories, pharmacies, and doctors. It is an amazing product. Once you come to know, you can search the web. He is also the managing director of Prime Technologies and Innovations Private Limited. Prime Technologies investments, it is investing into commercializing projects in sustainable infrastructure, healthcare, and education. Prior to founding Prime, Ram was involved in bringing the TED conference to Bharat in 2009 and continues to serve as the TEDx ambassador to the region. So let us give a big hand to Ram Sahasranam. May I request Sri Manoj Mallet to come on stage, please. Sri Manoj Mallet is CEO of Legend Royal Infra and partner of Aditya Trade Links. He is an organizing secretary for Hindu Economic Forum Kerala and one of the founder members. WHEF Kerala is now developed into 30 chapters, such a small state, but 30 chapters, spread across the state, and has a membership strength of 1,300 plus. I do hope that next time all 1,300 come here, so it will be like 5,000 people here. As a speaker and organizer, he played a key role in making WHEF a catalyst of Hindu economic insurgence in Kerala. Let's give him a big hand. May I request Sri Ravi Mantha to come on stage, please. It seems all of you know Mr. Ravi Mantha. He needs no introduction. Sri Ravi Mantha is an author, health expert, and investor. He has translated the poems of Sri Narendra Modi ji into English, which he gave me, and I read it overnight. He is also the author of All About Bacteria, a book on preventive health. He is wearing a lot of hats, gentlemen. He is also an angel investor and mentor to many startups. He has 18 years of investment experience and managed a whopping $35 billion portfolio, US dollar portfolio for Fidelity Investments in Boston and London. He is a keen student of history and the lessons it offers for the present and future. Learn from your past. He is a chartered financial analyst and has a degree in liberal arts. Let's give him a big hand. Mr. Ravi Narayanan, who is supposed to be here, is not here. Instead of that, we would request Mr. Satya Bansal to come on stage. Mr. Satya Bansal, we all know that he is the CEO of Barclays India, Barclays Bharat, and he has been instrumental in financing many of the startups, and he's almost acting like a venture capitalist, helping all the young entrepreneurs with new ideas. Let us give him a big hand, please. I would like to request Sri Hardev Singh to come on stage, please. Sri Hardev Singh is director of EAS PLC Group and also trustee, the Hayden Green Foundation, UK. He is a member of Nottingham City International Strategy Board. HGIIE, and Innovation Governance Board at University of Nottingham, BIBF and WHEF UK. You will be surprised and pleasantly happy to know that he is also sub-county coach at Nottingham Cricket Board. Let's give a big hand to Hardev Singh. All of them are young. Of course, Satya is substituting for a young person. We need somebody old enough or mature enough to mentor our youngsters, and that will be Sri Tribhuvan Kabra. You see the maturity? Sri Tribhuvan Kabra is Managing Director, RR Cable. Mr. Tribhuvan Prasad Rameshwar Lal Kabra serves as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer at Ram Ratna Wires Limited. Sri Kabra serves as Managing Director and Director of RR Cable Limited also. Sri Kabra has been Executive Director of Ram Ratna Wires Limited before being the Managing Director. He is a visionary industrialist who endeavors to bring together people of different communities to promote and celebrate the spirit of humanity. He is an innovator and visionary par excellence. Let us give him a big hand. Today, this session is going to cover encouraging young Hindu entrepreneurs, and our chairperson will be Sri Ram Sahasranam. The first paper will be by Sri Hardev Singh, and we would like to invite him to present this paper on World Youth Networking Platform.
Thank you and namaskar everyone. It's my great pleasure to be presenting a proposal to develop Worldwide Youth Networking Platform, a project very close to my heart. Since my initial discussions with respected Swamiji in Bangkok, we had further discussions to develop WHEF Youth Platform. Swamiji asked me to present a proposal to this conference, and if accepted, it will be launched in London 2015. I have already challenged our Hayden Green Institution of Innovation and Entrepreneurship at University of Nottingham to start working on developing a platform not to just help youth of UK, but worldwide. To just give you a little background, our charitable foundation was set up in the memory of founder of our ES group of companies, Mr. Hayden Green. Yeah. In February 2013, our Hayden Green Foundation gave a generous donation to the Institute of Innovation and Entrepreneurship at University of Nottingham. The endowment enables the Institute to build its education program and research effort both in the benefits of both students and the business community by helping to develop entrepreneurial skills. The vision. Our institutes want to be center of excellence in encouraging enterprise culture worldwide. So the proposal here is our institute will support to start WHEF youth program. And within the youth program, we want to develop the Worldwide Youth Networking Platform, internship program, venture competition, and the Youth Enterprise Hub. Now this is interesting, the Youth Enterprise Hub, which is, I have asked them to develop. Now this one will be mainly the virtual hub for the young people all over the world to participate in the starting their own business. And we have got a program called Ingenuity Online at the university, which will support this program. So WHEF UK to be the head office of this program. This is the proposal we are proposing from now on till the next conference. And then we will identify the individual committed WHEF offices worldwide to come and deliver this program. And online updates will be available on this program. And we would like to then prepare a progress report for 2015. So this is mainly all the action program which has been already been discussed with the Swamiji. So the Youth Enterprise Hub. So our institution is already developing this online hub, and the online Ingenuity program will be supporting this whole program. So the proposed program is, we are saying WHEF UK to be the head office. So we will identify individual committed WHEF offices, different part of the world, and online up-to-date information will be available, and we will prepare the progress report for this one. I think your slides are going the other way around. So the way forward to, for this program is that each of the different offices of WHEF will sign an MOC with the London office, and we, with our partners in UK, will deliver this program worldwide. And a little about our institution, what this institution is already been doing it. We have already 4,500 career researchers who have gone through our Young Entrepreneur Scheme since 1997. 200 new members of the Enterprise Lab, and we have got one of the Europe's largest research team in the innovation and entrepreneurship. The Enterprise Lab. Our Enterprise Lab actually offers all our graduates a facility and incubation to start their ideas. We also run the Student Venture Challenge. So normally the Student Venture Challenge is for the undergraduate, which gives out nearly £10,000 every year. But last year I have asked our institute to run the postgraduate program as well. Initially, this program got the prize money of only 20,000. But when we start spreading the word around, a lot of different companies came around, and this program went up to £70,000. So this is just to say, if you're going to do anything, the youth program side of it, there is a lot of interest, a lot of support from the different organizations who will love to come on this sort of program. So there are around 1,300 SMEs are integrated into this Ingenuity program from our institution. 450 SMEs received leadership training last year, and there are 600 business trained to use this online program. So what is the Ingenuity program? I'm going to go through quickly these slides because the chair has already said to me we're going to give a lot of time for the interaction. So excuse me when I'm going to flipping through quickly from this slides. So the Ingenuity program is where it shows the different candidates who go into this program to how to develop a radical innovative ideas. So each student in the business school at the University of Nottingham actually joined this program. And last year it was the largest module. 850 students studied this module at the university. So what is this process? This process you normally explain how to generate radical new ideas. Consider how best an effective process built from this research and practice. There is embedded learning as a team or as an individual. How to get more from less, how to react to new competition, how to adopt a new technology, how to develop a new product, and how to build innovative organizations. So if you put in a graph, it is like a 3D pre-concept, and 3Ds are after. The first 3D is define, discover, and determine, and the others are a post-concept part of the whole process. So phase one, what you do, you put your problem, you describe your problem, you structure the problem into the system, and the strategy you want to deliver it. Phase two is the problem strategy are then developed, because the program already has got the academic part built into it, as well as all the successful program which has been run by the online Ingenuity program. So at the end of the phase three, it comes up with the different solutions, and then you determine which one is the best. and you then start on it. And why it is so successful, you can see it already. Some private sector companies, NHS, one of the biggest employer in UK, is using it. There are private companies, well-known companies on the list. And this is another NHS foundation which uses this program called Lincoln Partnership Foundation Trust. And these are some of their conclusions. I am going to skip through this one, but we will make these slides available from the websites. So most of these institutions who have used it, what they have said, it has helped them to increase the level of creativity among the participants and enhance number of different radical ideas. And it enables the managers for the innovation themselves to create within their own companies. So the proposal for the World Youth Ingenuity Online. So the Ingenuity process is now available online. This can be used by young people to solve their problem with entrepreneurial solutions. It can be a social network, platform, and as well as the business platform as well. So the benefits, the mentors can provide the support and advice anywhere in the world. And the local support agency, then you can train them how to deliver these programs as they have already done in UK. And the young people can solve their local problem and create the employment locally. So one of the main themes for this one is, if you can't find a job, you must create a job. And this is what we are saying. If by starting a small enterprise as an individual or as a team, and this program is one of the best programs so far, and we are already beta testing this program, and it will be rolled out into many, many different programs at the global level within the universities. There is a process called the Unitas 21, where a lot of these international universities are part of it, and they are all going to participate into the global competition within, I think, is going to be rolled out next year. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Shri Hardev Singh ji. He spoke about one of the most important elements for youth entrepreneurs to do well, which is the ecosystem itself. He wears multiple hats, and has created a wonderful ecosystem in London. How many youth entrepreneurs are there here? Can I stand up, guys? Come on, stand up. Let's create some energy in the audience. Come on. So for those sitting, please find them and have conversations to see how you can help them and shape their future. One of the most important elements that young entrepreneurs always have to do is we try to hide ourselves in looking older, right? I've got a rock star panel who's going to tell you that you don't need to look older today to get access to funding, to get access to mentorship, to get access to ecosystems. And our very next speaker is a young entrepreneur who's created an ecosystem and is going to share success stories that have come out from within his ecosystem. Manoj, over to you.
Respected panel speakers on the dais, and my brothers and sisters. Angam hare pulagabhushanamaasrayandi Pringanganeva mukulabharanam tamalam Angigridagila vibhudirapangaleela Mangalyadastu mama mangala devataya. As you all know, this is Kanagadhara Stotram, which is recitated by Sri Shankaracharya first time in Kerala. Kerala, the land of Sri Shankaracharya, and the land of Swami Chinmayanand, who is the co-founder of Vishwa Hindu Parishad, our parent organization, and of course, the land of Srinarayana Guru and the land of Chattambi Swamigal. So my dear brothers and sisters, I'm going to tell you a story today, how a community which has converted their weakness into a great strength. So the history of Kerala, that is the Hindu Economic Forum history of Kerala, starts only in 2012 with the great blessings of our beloved Swami Vijnananji. So till 2012, I think before getting into the details of what Hindu Economic Forum Kerala is doing, let us have a quick overview on what exactly the socio-economical situations in Kerala. It is very easy to explain. See, as you all know, that Chaturvarnya was in practice in Vedic period of our ancient Bharat. So in Kerala, it is very interesting. Hindus are not anymore Brahmins because we don't control, we don't own educational institutions. It is only less than 10% educational institutions which is run and managed by Hindus in Kerala. And next is, we are not Kshatriyas anymore because we are not much powerful in politics. The politics is not controlled by Hindus in Kerala. And Vaishyas, gone case. It is very difficult to find a business community among Kerala Hindus. So doing business in Kerala, as far as Hindus concerns, it is highly risky. And youngsters, for them, it is very difficult to get a marriage proposal if you are a Hindu. So the young entrepreneurs, please don't come to Kerala. We are creating a situation for you to come to Kerala and do business and get married from there. That is the way we convert Hindu business scenario in Kerala. And of course, and as far as the young people, young generation concerned in Kerala, there are only two categories of people. One is job seekers and the other one is job holders. There is absolutely no social responsibility towards the community. Just because most of them, they are brought up in a way that study well, get good marks, find a job, and the job is no more there in Kerala because the great communist organizations have destroyed all the employment opportunities in Kerala by striking all factories and enterprising organizations. So that now the job opportunities are there only either in Middle East or in US or in UK. So there the major issue is, there we don't probably have a Hindu culture. So the children in their young period, they're brought up in a way that they are supposed to adopt a different culture. So that it is very important, you should not go and attend a Hindu community organization's meeting. You should not be an activist of a Hindu organization. If you go for RSS Shakhas or Vishwa Hindu Parishad, you will not get visa. And this is the way the Hindu kids are, brought up by their parents in Kerala. You can understand the situation. And there are so many examples which I can give you. And just because of this, just because the opportunities are there and abroad, large-scale migrations happens. The next generation is migrating and they dispose their hereditary land possession to the minority communities. Predominantly, they're engaged in business in Kerala and making a lot of money. And kids rarely join their family business because much time it is too small to accommodate their aspirations. Because their parents are doing business only for bread and butter. They don't have higher aspirations because they are not supported by a business community. They do business just to bring up their kids. So that their kids will never join with their family because family business, they bring up to have a good job abroad. And my brothers, in other communities, it happens weekly once in churches and mosques. In minority communities, they meet each other, they greet each other, they develop a team, they practice in team habits in their mosque and church. It is very interesting. For Hindus, the united prayer not happening in temples and not even in bhojanashalas. That is there in community, feast or somewhat like that. And that has been the situation, and that is the situation probably to a certain extent even now. And in 2012, after inspired by great Swami Vijnananji, we have decided, few people have decided, and after attending Hong Kong conference, we have decided, enough is enough. Now the time is to wake up and stand up and fight. And that is how we have started Hindu Economic Forum Kerala. Our beloved Swamiji have given us a special permission to operate HEF Kerala in a separate platform because we wanted to accommodate everyone, all the businessmen in Kerala, including young entrepreneurs and senior businessmen. So that is how we have started HEF Kerala. Present. So past 30 months, it has been able to bring the top businessmen together in Kerala. Successfully formed around 25 chapters, and at present, it is nearing 30, and we are looking at 100 chapters. And what I am talking about is a chapter is inclusive of minimum 50 members. Some chapters are inclusive of 100 members even. And they come together, and a weekly meeting is compulsory. They sit for a weekly meeting, and they protect various entities which were about to close down. One, the kids are grown up. If they find a job abroad, normally the businessmen, the business parents, close down their business. That was the tendency. Now we are, to a certain extent, we support and we encourage the businessmen to continue with their business even if their kids have grown up and gone for job abroad. And encourage new generation to join family business after education proudly. And for that, Hindu Economic Forum now is starting another organization called Chanakya Youth Forum. And that is to find out young talents. And we organize training programs and we support them with venture capital funding. I request our Satya Bensalji to support and listen to us to raising up capital fund for young businessmen. And I think few of our businessmen, young entrepreneurs are here with us today for this World Economic Congress. And that's all about the normal activities. And 5 participants were in Hong Kong World Hindu Economic Forum Congress. And 50 participants attended in last year, that is in Bangkok conference from Kerala. And this year, here, it's around 80 plus people have attended, and are attending this particular meeting from Kerala alone. And altogether, forum business, the business which is in between the forum members, Kerala is now exceeding 1,200 crore so far. And that is the total volume if you keep an accounting. And the next thing is, and this is some snapshots about, of the last state congress. You would see that our beloved Swamiji is inaugurating by lighting the lamp. And I would like to call upon a few of my fighters, those who really led the show in Kerala, to establish Hindu Economic Forum chapters in different parts of Kerala. So that I would like to call upon Mr. K.R. Mohandas on the stage. They are the co-fighters, those who fought with me to convert the weakness into strength in Kerala. And Mr. Rakho Menon was here. He got some urgent phone calls and he has gone to Jaipur. He'll be joining us today evening. And Mr. Pradeep Balapad is present, State General Secretary of Hindu Economic Forum in Kerala. He is not here, unfortunately. And Naveen Nair, I would like to call upon Naveen Nair. I think he has gone to the media forum along with the eminent speakers from Kerala. And he is already here. I would like to call upon Vinu, Dr. Vinu. I would like to request Mr. Mohandas to stay back on the stage. And Mr. C.G. Rajagopal. Probably you would have seen a man with white dhotis in and around in this. And Mr. Sham is now the Joint Secretary of HEF. He is also not participating in this forum congress. And this is the most inspiring story which I would like to tell you. And this is all about few youngsters, few people have come together and met together in Hindu Economic Forum chapter meetings. People from different parts of Kerala. And they become friends through Hindu Economic Forum and later become business partners. So my dear brothers, it is a story about Aditya Trade Links. This organization is now involved into international trading and shipping. And for past 10 to 12 months, we have been able to, I am also a part of it. And also another partner, Mr. Vinu Kumar, I request Vinu Kumar also to join us on the dais for a few minutes. So now, I would request you to support us. You know, the global business fraternity from the Hindu community, if you have some cargoes to be sold, to be imported, to be exported from your country to Bharat or Bharat to any other part of the world, we are ready to support you in terms of servicing you of shipping and trading. And the last one bank is there in Kerala. It is known as Dhanalakshmi Bank. The last Hindu bank which is left in Kerala, and the Dhanalakshmi Bank is supporting us in a big way. And in this occasion, I would like to thank the chairman of Dhanlakshmi Bank, Mr. Jayamar, also for supporting us by giving us funding for bank guarantees and LCs. So now our business is it is crossing the turnover of around 300 crore. And thank you very much for Swamiji and all other HEF members from Kerala for supporting us to bring up this Aditya Trade Links in this level. Thank you very much. And yeah, Naveenji, I have requested you to come on the stage. You are later. I think this man is familiar to all of you. He is, the most energetic guy as far as the forum concerned. You would have seen him in many, sessions and speeches. And Swamiji always call him a Hanuman of Kerala. And the next success story, another story I would like to tell you is about Naveen's company. I have been talking about Aditya Trade Links, which we four are involved. That is Mr. Mohan Das, and who supported us with funding, and Vinu Kumar, Nada Vinu, and myself. And next is all about Vaidya Pharmaceutical, that is owned by Naveen Nair. And they are launching a product called Ashwas. And it is providing, as it is providing Ashwasam to your stomach. And he has got his partner, Mr. Subhash, is also here. And he's going to launch his product here. Probably you would have already tasted, probably the eminent speakers have tasted his product. And now that company, Ashwas, is valued with an Indian rupee, 225 million, sorry, not billion, it is million. So I wish you to pray for us in fighting back in this way, in setting up new enterprises and new companies and grow economically. And there are other entities which the forum is supporting in Kerala. There's a new channel which is coming up. I would request Poilakada Rajan Nair, who is the director of Janam channel. I think he's already here in this hall. I would request Rajatan to stand up. So, another entity, we are launching the channel. We are waiting for our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modiji's date, and forum is supporting financially this channel. And another entity is the Janmabhoomi Daily, that is a news daily which the forum is supporting financially and revive the operations. And Veer Savarkar Institute of Business Studies, that is an institute which we are, with the support of forum, Hindu Economic Forum is, we are setting up in Kerala to train business entrepreneurs. And also Chanakya Youth Forum, which I have already given you some explanation. We request you to support in the war of existence, my dear brothers and sisters. We have got freedom in 1947, politically and legally, but still, we believe that we are still to gain the freedom for emotional freedom and economical freedom. I would request all of you Hindu brothers and sisters, global Hindu fraternity, to support us, to join us in this war and support us to win this economical warfare. And I would request you to chant along with me. That is all from our Vedas. We have everything in our Vedas. That is, I would like you to repeat after me. Shatahastena Sambadya. More louder please. Shatahastena Sambadya. Sahasrahastena Vigira. That's all about our forum people, global business community have to do for our Hindu community. We have to end with hundreds of hands and donate to our community with thousands of hands. Thank you very much. Jai Bharat Mata.
Couldn't you all feel the energy? That's what the youth of the nation today is all about. It's interesting. 300 crores in under 2 years in revenue. That's the community they've created. Our next investor would love to hear this, right? He's one of the top angel investors in Asia and took a sabbatical after pretty much pitted to lead Fidelity, saying that I think I've reached my pinnacle. I want to go back and do something good in this part of the world. I've been fortunate because he's one of the investors in my company and reason for our exponential growth because of the wisdom that he's been able to provide us. I would like to bring on stage the young and effervescent Ravi Mantha.
Good afternoon, everyone. Some of us have to grow a beard to look a little bit older. I'm here to talk about financing for startups. I just wanted to have a quick show of hands. How many youth entrepreneurs are there in this room? Just a show of hands. That's quite a few. How many overall entrepreneurs are there? How many established entrepreneurs are there? This is fantastic. Given the right opportunity to invest in a new business, how many of the established entrepreneurs would actually invest in a new business? Now, I want all the youth entrepreneurs, please keep your hands up for a moment, please. All the youth entrepreneurs, please look around you, right? At the end of the session, you're going to meet all these guys and make your pitch, right? So have I finished doing my job, talking about startup financing? Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, as Ram was pointing out, I started my journey as a professional investor more than 20 years ago now. I retired from Fidelity managing a global equity fund and then started investing in startups because I found young entrepreneurs to be the most interesting, the most appealing, their ideas, their creativity. I learned so much from that, and I continue to learn so much from that. Now, the first thing I want to tell the young entrepreneurs is, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to be a salesperson. You have to be able to sell, right? Because the first thing you do is not sell your product, but you're selling yourself. You're selling your company to the investors who are here. Now, I want to do a very simple exercise. I've translated a book of poetry. These are Gujarati poems of our Prime Minister with an official foreword written by him. Now, this book is priced at 1,000 rupees donation to charity. How many people in this room are willing to pay 1,000 rupees for this book? There's quite a lot of people. Maybe I should just stop now. How many are willing to pay 300 rupees? That's a huge number. Right, so now I have done three things. The first thing I did was I have shamelessly come onto the stage and asked you for money. Right, that's what makes an entrepreneur. Because I'm also an entrepreneur because I'm a writer, so I have to sell my books. The second thing I've done is I picked the right audience. Right, if I were speaking at, I don't know, maybe the Catholic convention, my audience for this particular product may not be as strong as it is in this room, obviously. The third thing I've done is I've anchored the product. Meaning, I came up here and I told you how many people are willing to pay 1,000 rupees, which means I've valued this product at 1,000 rupees and I've discovered my audience, my customers. And then I did the best thing of all. I gave a discount. So the rest of you felt really good about getting something for 300, which is actually worth 1,000 rupees. Right? This is also what an entrepreneur does. Thank you. Now, I just want to run through a few of these slides before we get down to business. By the way, I do have about 25 copies available. They are 300 rupees, and the money does go to charity, so come see me afterwards. You see, the way a startup works in today's world is, some crazy person has an idea, and they, come out with a business plan, and they set up a product, and they want to go out and make money. But essentially, what happens is, in the first phase, you're just spending. You're not drawing salaries, you're bootstrapping yourself, and you get to a point where there is some kind of a prototype ready. And this is when you go and find an angel investor, somebody perhaps like me. Now, the problem is that I look at maybe 100 deals in a year, and I invest in maybe one or two, right? But I have the luxury of doing that. Right? But there are all sorts of angels. Some people may get more invested in you as a human being. Some people may get more invested in you because they're related to you. So you can find all kinds of angels out there who will support you and your business. Right? Now then what happens ideally is, once you get angel financing, once I invest in a company like, I had the privilege of investing in Ram's company, you see this rapid phase of growth and expansion. And then, as an early investor, obviously I benefit a lot because the next round of financing, which is done by a venture capital firm, is going to be at a much higher valuation because they are not taking as much risk as I am taking as an angel investor. And then, of course, if the company then succeeds further, then you get bank financing, and eventually you go to an IPO, an initial public offering, you list it on the stock market, or you get acquired. Right? This is the life cycle of a startup. Now, the key point is that only 3% of us are born as entrepreneurs. And I tell you that 3%, there's quite a few of people in this room that do belong to that 3%, who didn't ask anybody for any financing, didn't set up a team. They did not, they just knew from the time that they started to walk, that they were never going to work for anybody else. They were just going to start a business, and then they've done it, and many of them are here as successful entrepreneurs. But the rest of us, and I count myself as one among the rest, I'm not a born entrepreneur. I don't have the skill set to take all of this risk and stomach it all on my own. But this is exactly where a forum like this, the Hindu Economic Forum, helps. As our friend Manoj was talking earlier, the most important thing for that other 97% of us is to find a team of fellow entrepreneurs who can, there are things that we would never do on our own, but which we would do together as a team. Right? This is the whole point of it. When there's 3 or 4 of you, you motivate each other, and you bring different skill sets to the table, and you're also watching each other and stopping each other from making big mistakes. There is more of a group decision-making involved. And frankly, this is the single biggest thing that angel investors look for. They want to see a team. Very, very few single entrepreneur businesses get funded by angel investors. They always want to see a team. And the main point is that if you can't find 2 or 3 other co-founders, there's very little chance of you being able to find an investor, because it means that your value proposition is not strong enough to attract at least 2 other people to your cause. So where do you get startup funding? We call it the 3 Fs: family, friends, and fools. And it's absolutely true, right? I have funded some things. I've been the fool many times. I've tried to avoid being the family when I invest in startups. And I've definitely funded startups that are run by friends. Ram was a friend before I got involved in the company. But I didn't do it because of our friendship. I did it because he's one of the best entrepreneurs I've come across in my investing career. But for the rest of us, the bottom line is that you have to just go out there and sell yourself, right? Find opportunities to talk to established entrepreneurs. Start with your family. The only thing I would advise you is, please don't take people's retirement money. Take their, play money, or take their extra money. Because we, as entrepreneurs, really believe in our business. So much so that we think we're going to be the next Bill Gates, and therefore we're happy to take our grandfather's 20 lakhs of provident fund money. But in reality, that's not a good idea, because you not only lose your 90% of startups fail. So let's always be mindful of that. So by all means, target your friends, family, and whoever is in your circle, but please be mindful of their situation as well, and don't take them for all they have just because you have a great idea. Credit cards, no salary, mentors. The thing with an entrepreneur is they are not fussed about what they make right now. They are so crazy about their idea and how it's going to succeed and how it's going to be the next Google, that they are willing to max themselves out, and they're willing to go the full 90 yards to make it happen. I know I've invested in, one of my recent investments is a social enterprise with a young blind investor, and he's a supremely strong story. But leaving aside his background, the point is that after I've invested, I've seen how he operates, and he travels between Hyderabad and Hubli in a red bus. Right? So I know when I meet him that the money that I've invested with him is being used in the business, not in getting a car and a driver. And this is a young blind guy who does this. Right? And you can imagine how glad I feel when someone in that situation is able to actually bootstrap himself and treat not only the business but also his investors' money with a lot of respect and use it for the right purpose. Government assistance. Now, this is something that we're working on. I think there's a lot of initiatives in the government to set up accelerators and to set up seed venture funds. And this is something that has happened very, very significantly in Singapore, but in India, it's still very in the early days. But I would expect that within a couple of years, the ecosystem is going to change across the country because every state, every government is trying to attract startups and young entrepreneurs. So they will make it happen through a system of government assistance of some sort or the other, grants or loans. There are a lot of ideas that are being fructified right now, but you expect that within a couple of years, this will be much more accessible. So what do entrepreneurs do? They start businesses, right? Now, the whole issue in India in particular is that when you're operating at the bottom end, as all startup entrepreneurs have to, there is a lot of competition, but there is a lot of what we call cutting corners. So people avoid the service tax, or people find ways, we call it jugad, right? But in reality, what they're doing is they're really not following the letter of the law. And this is something that as professional investors, we're really careful about, because if you are cutting corners as a startup, you'll probably cut even bigger corners later on in your professional life. And that's something that angels are very, very careful about. They fundamentally want to invest in teams that are honest and ethical. So even if it costs a little bit more, pay it, pay your service tax, and pay your provident fund, pay your employees via check, and all these things, and make it happen in the right way. And because that's what is going to succeed over the long term. So the whole point of angel capital is to fill the gaps in startup financing. Now, there are a lot of angel investors in India. It's just that it's not as established as it is, say, in Silicon Valley or in Boston. But today, there are angel networks. There is Indian angels, there is Hyderabad angels, Mumbai angels, Calcutta angels. Every city is coming up with its own angel network. And any of you who are startup entrepreneurs, as long as you have the right criteria, first thing, team. Second thing, a proper business plan with some kind of experience and domain expertise. And what you can do is reach out to the Indus Entrepreneurs, TIE.org, which is I'm on the board of this organization. But we have 60-odd chapters in different countries around the world. And you can reach out to any of your local Thai chapter and ask for a mentor. So some senior angel investor or entrepreneur will take their time and spend an hour with you and go through your business plan and and give you honest feedback on whether you have a likelihood of taking this forward, or what do you need to do to improve it. So use the resources that we have available in the system already. No one, I find people come up to me after this sort of talks and say, yeah, but I just can't get anyone to fund me, or I can't get people to listen to me. But you're not using the right tools. Right? Find a Thai chapter and get some help, get a mentor. Nobody can operate in today's world without an experienced mentor helping them. And people are very happy to help. I have never had anyone say no when I ask for advice. People love to give advice. That's what I have found in this world. Now, in India, if you're raising typically less than 5 crores, you have to go the angel funding route, because the traditional venture capitalist minimum is around 5, and then it goes all the way up to 100 crores and beyond. Now, there is one other thing that I'll mention about the startup ecosystem and getting financing, and these are called accelerators. I actually have funded an accelerator in Singapore called JFDI, the Joyful Frog Digital Incubator. And we have so far run boot camps and invested in over 20 startups from all across Asia, including a few in India. Now, there are 3,084 accelerators at the last count around the world, and at least 116 in Bharat. So all over the country, if you look at the number of accelerators. And these guys do something very, very interesting. They'll take a young entrepreneur team with an idea, and then they mentor you typically over a set period of time, maybe 90 days, 100 days, or 6 months even. They give you the space, the physical office space, and you can be based there and access their mentors and their network. And in exchange for a stake in the company, they'll give you all these services. And sometimes they give you cash as well. JFDI, for example, gives you 25,000 Singapore dollars in cash if you go through their program, if you are accepted into their program. And you get to spend 3 months in Singapore, in-house, and benefit from the more than 50 mentors that they have. We have Startup Village in Kerala. There's lots and lots of these things that are propping up. Every state wants its own accelerator. Now, there is a website called f6s.com. You can go there and you can see the names and addresses and what types of accelerators are there around the world. There is also another website called angellist.com that lists all the available angels who have signed up and who have funded startups in the past. I'm on it as well. And you can very easily reach people through this ecosystem. So welcome to the startup ecosystem, and I wish you all the best, and let this be a new generation that exceeds the previous one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ravi. It's extremely important for us to focus on angel investment. The reason is that's the fastest way to accelerate an entrepreneurial ecosystem. Let me give you a simple example. Now, if you invest in 10 companies, and let's say 4 of them do well, right? You've still made your money back. But those 4 successful entrepreneurs are going to reinvest their capital back into startups. Thus, there is going to be an exponential increase in the number of startups getting funded. And we're seeing that slowly happening in India. There is finally a platform for accessing reasonably good capital. As Ravi pointed out, Mumbai Angels, Hyderabad Angels, etc. are out there. And Hardev Singh ji just pointed out creating an incubator where people can accelerate their ideas and take it to the next level. Our next speaker, unfortunately, Ravi Narayan could not make it today because he's got a little bit of a back problem. We wish him well and hope he recovers quickly. He runs an accelerator called the Microsoft Accelerator in Bangalore. I was fortunate to be part of that accelerator group, and it definitely helped my company become a global company in a short period of time. He literally broke his back helping entrepreneurs, you could say, right? But we've got someone who's been an amazing mentor to me. He spoke at WHEF Bangkok last year, and to a thunderous applause from the audience. He's one of India's top angel investors, and he's been a strong mentor to me because he calls himself the handbrake, because I tend to run away with my ideas, and he brings me down to reality as to what's happening in the situation. It's my pleasure to invite Satya Bansal, the CEO of Barclays Wealth, to the stage. Thank you.
Thanks, Ram, and my fellow panelists on the dais and this august audience. So I'm here to fill in the gap from my fellow venture capitalist, accelerator, Ravi Narayan. Ram requested me saying that, let me come and share some of my thoughts on it. So let me give it a different twist altogether. First and foremost, do we know that we used to have incubators even 100 years back? Any form of incubation? Sushilji, thank you so much. You have made my life very easy. We are possibly one of the oldest incubation society in the world. For those of you who don't understand Hindi, I might translate it separately. But I think we are all familiar with Calcutta's Gaddis. हैं? कलकत्ता गद्दी जानते हैं? हाँ, वो क्या था? It was nothing but incubation for friends and families. You are from whichever village, whichever part of that particular community you are, come here, stay with us, understand whatever you want to do, be part of the trade, make some little money which can keep you surviving. Within a couple of years, you will understand the tricks of the trade, and they will encourage you to start something of your own. And I can guarantee you that today, majority of the Indian entrepreneurs who are billionaires have started on one or the other Calcutta Gaddis. Now, I see a lot of successful entrepreneurs sitting in the audience besides the young entrepreneurs who are obviously looking for the right connect. Are we doing the job well now? This is a question that we need to answer. If you are doing it, please continue doing it. If you are not doing it, the time is that maybe your forefathers were also incubated by somebody, or you have been incubated by somebody. Are we doing the job? Forget about the scale of money that we have. Forget about what your children are doing and what business you are in. I have one simple appeal to make to this august audience which can afford to be that Calcutta Gaddi, to be that mentor. In whatever way you can. And I'll tell you, you have some inhibitions to contribute to that. And let me handle some of those inhibitions if I can. One of the inhibitions that we have is, I don't understand these young guys. I am an older generation man. These guys come up with e-commerce idea. These guys come up with some new technology idea. I hardly understand technology. I don't even use the phone, the features of my hand phone beyond making a call. How can I connect to this new economy which talks about startup, innovation, a lot of things? Let me tell you, this has nothing to do with innovation. First and foremost, let's understand what innovation is. What is innovation? Idea needs execution. But let me give you a very simple definition. Very often we confuse innovation with invention. Invention is basically getting into some fundamental research. Okay, I don't want to get into the further dissection of what invention is all about. Invention is basically getting into some fundamental research, getting into some new product ideas, very good thing. But let me tell you, here we are not talking about invention, we are talking about innovation. Innovation has got a very simple part of it. It doesn't require anything but the common sense. And I think all of us at some stage has got that common sense to convert that invention into a viable business idea. So what your role is, your role is not to understand the invention. Your role is to understand that invention or possibly the innovation to take it to the market. I can tell you today, there are enough ideas in this world, but most of these ideas suffer not because of the idea itself, not because the idea is bad, not because the idea is needed or not needed. They suffer because they do not have enough commercial prudence. जो कहते हैं ना, उसके पीछे बढ़िया बुद्धि नहीं है. And many of the successful ideas at a very young stage die because they don't get the commercial prudence attached to it. And I think there are enough people in this audience who can bring that baniya buddhi, that commercial prudence, which is required. And that's the reason I always say that you can play that role of a mentor by linking the idea to the market in a commercially viable way. And that is what I'm asking you to play the role of mentorship. Whether you provide capital, whether you provide the incubation space, whether you provide anything else which the entrepreneur needs, but what you can definitely provide by just committing little time on your schedule on a weekly basis, monthly basis, whichever way you want to do it, please, it's our duty to our forefathers because they have been incubated. It's our duty to ourselves because we have been incubated to play that role. So what we are supposed to understand is only the commercial part of it, not the technical part. And if you really want to be getting into technical, you can always get somebody who understands that particular industry and bring him along with you to provide that linkage. So idea needs market linkages, and I think we have got enough of those linkages and understanding to really make that difference happen. Let me also tell you, for those who want to be part of this ecosystem and those who have got enough money, I'm not talking enough means that you need to have surplus money, but I think all of us have got enough money today, at least who have spent some years. What the guys need is not capital. They need the smart part of capital. So a little of your capital with little more smart part of your capital is enough capital for them. So even if you have got very little capital, don't worry about it. Your 2 lakhs, 5 lakhs is good enough for them. But I believe what they're going to get from you as part of that mentorship, as part of that Calcutta Gaddi, is going to be enough, loaded in favor of the smartness, that I think that's good enough for them. So please bring, if not capital, at least the smart part of the capital. And let me tell you, today the world has come to a stage where there is enough money chasing the startups. What startups are actually looking at, hey guys, I'm talking on behalf of the guys who are seeking money. Always, and this is a message to my young entrepreneurs, fellows who are sitting in the audience, please look for that smart part of it. Even if somebody is willing to give you maybe 1.5 times of the valuation or 2 times of the valuation, that's not your success mantra. Ask the investor who is coming in you, what will be your contribution to make this capital smart for me? If you feel that guy has got enough rich, has got tons of money, he wants to invest, he is willing to take the risk, that's fine. That's only one part of his ability to be part of your venture. Ask him straight away, what will you contribute to me? And that's the stage, the smart part of the capital matters more than anything else. And now let me tell you, many of you who are young entrepreneurs, don't you feel you should have been born in a rich family? Guys, raise your hands. Okay, let me ask this. Don't you feel that you got too little capital to pursue your ideas? Oh, everyone has good capital also. Nobody is raising hands. Guys, raise it. Others can see it. Okay, so you feel that not having abundant capital is a challenge for you. But let me tell you, that can also be a blessing for you. How is it? Have you thought not having adequate capital is a blessing for you? Okay, it's good enough to hear yes. But tell me why. It's an opportunity for you. Zeal to work. Very powerful. We need to impart energy to all the young guys. नहीं जी कोई बात नहीं ठीक है हम अपनी आवाज थोड़ी नीचे रख लेते हैं Okay, so why do you feel that that it's a blessing? And let's understand it from business community. I'll take just another 2 minutes, is that okay? 1 minute. Okay. So tell me the success story of all the business community. Which are the communities most successful worldwide? Marwadis, Gujaratis, Jews, Sindhis. और भी कुछ बोल दीजिए चलेगा. Jews. Now let me tell you, there is one common characteristics of all these successful business community. What is that common characteristic of this community? There are enough people working hard, but let me give you one simple thing, that they have all flourished due to lack of abundance. And let's an example. What was there with Marwari community? Let's start with that. Born in desert, can't eat sand. Obviously have to go out with that dhoti, whatever called lota and dori, whatever it is, and look for that Kolkata incubation, Kolkata Gaddi, incubated, obviously, and that the deprivation lead to creation of abundance for them, not only for them, but also for community. Look at what happened to Gujarati, and Gujarati also particularly look at the Kutchis. What was there? Can't eat salt. What happened to them? They all went around the world. Something similar to what has happened to Marwaris. I think they have created, again, similar thing. What happened to Jews? Look at what happened to Sindhis. The community was absolutely at the bottom of its, we can say, economic power when they came post-partition. What happened? Today, those guys migrated all across the continent, created a global trading hub. Common link. Not having enough to survive. When you don't have enough to survive, you bring abundance around you. Look at Jews. What has happened to Jews, guys? Think of Jews 40 years back. What was there with Jews? They as a community have survived a tremendous amount of willpower. And that willpower, let me tell you guys, has come out of what? Not having enough. So guys, those of you who don't feel you don't have enough, this is a blessing in disguise for you. Feel proud that you have the opportunity to create. And let me give you another thing now. For those who are born in business family, this is the biggest challenge that you are born with. Okay? For those who are born in business family, and particularly successful business families, and particularly third generation onwards, including, I could even count second generation onward. The biggest challenge you have in life is not having enough willpower to work for it. So I've got one simple suggestion to make for those who are part of this club here. How many of you are part of this club? Okay. One suggestion. Treat your dad nothing beyond venture capitalist, nothing beyond angel investor. If he is willing to put in your money, give him the same response as a venture capitalist would have taken from you. Give him the reporting as much as you want, and please, even if you've got $100 million worth of business, at least be eligible by creating $5 million of business on your own, $10 million of business on your own, before you can seek your claim to that gaddi, saying that I'm entitled to part of your business. At least be the creator first, before you can turn yourself as inheritor. Thank you so much.
More often than not, entrepreneurs do not seek just capital. They seek the people behind the capital. That's more important for the company to grow. So keep that in mind, all you young minds, and make sure you put the investors to test when they want to chase you with money. Right? Our next speaker, Sri Tribhuvan Kabra, who's fondly called as Baiji because of his passion for helping both in the form of investments and mentoring young startups. It's a 4,000 crore conglomerate that he's created, exporting to over 73 countries around the world. He's willing to offer his entire breadth to ensure young Hindu entrepreneurs can benefit. I hope there are more of you in the audience that can do the same. Over to you, Vaiji.
Thank you, Bansal ji. तमेव माता च पिता तमेव तमेव बन्धु सखा तमेव तमेव विद्या द्रविणं तमेव तमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। जिस व्यक्ति के ऊपर माता पिता गुरु और देवता की आशीर्वाद है, वो व्यक्ति जीवन में कभी हार नहीं सकता। देश पे बैठे मेरे साथीगण, मातृशक्ति बंधुओं एवं मेरे गुरुदेवों, क्योंकि आप मुझसे कहीं अधिक पढ़े हैं और कभी मेरे से अधिक नॉलेज है, अतः मैं आप सबको नमन करता हूँ। जीवन में कुछ सीखा है, ये कथा हम तीन भाइयों की है और आशीर्वाद पिताजी का। एक ट्रेड से शुरुआत कर एक स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज, मीडियम स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज, एक लार्ज स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज, एक ब्रांडेड इंडस्ट्रीज, एक नाम वायर नहीं, भारत की नब्ज है। ये नब्ज कब पैदा हो सकती है? जब एक विश्वास और एक ट्रस्ट है। व्यक्ति अपनी सोच से बुरा होता है, अपने मन से बुरा होता है, अपने तन से बुरा होता है। सोचता अच्छा है तो जवान हो जाता है। जिस तरह एक क्रिकेट का मैच है, एक बॉल है और 18 रन बनाना है, तो मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि मैं 18 रन मार दूंगा, क्योंकि जिस तरह मैं खेलता हूं तो सामने वाला बॉलर 9 बॉल डालेगा और थर्ड में मेरा 6 रहता है। व्यापारी वही कहलाता है जो छाछ, दही के बाद जो छाछ बनती है और उस छाछ में से अगर वह मक्खन निकाल सकता है, वही व्यापारी है। बंसल जी ने कहा पेड़ी, कलकत्ता, हमारे बिरला जी के यहाँ आज 60 वर्ष से एक टेलीग्राम में एक तलपट आता था। तलपट का मतलब होता है प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट। आज इतना ERP आ गया है, फिर भी हमारे जो यंगस्टर है, जो भी कुछ उनको ध्यान में रहता है वो सिर्फ लैपटॉप में ही ध्यान रहता है। अगर उनको कुछ पूछा जाता है तो सर देख के बताता हूँ। व्यापारी वो होता है जिसकी गणित ये इस अंगुलियों में होती है। व्यापार एक निष्ठा से किया जाता है, एक श्रद्धा से किया जाता है, एक विश्वास के साथ किया जाता है, एक ट्रांसपेरेंसी के साथ किया जाता है। ट्रांसपेरेंसी का मतलब कंपनी के चेयरमैन से लेकर जो गेट पर जो वॉचमैन रिसीव करता है, उसके बाद उसका रिसेप्शनिस्ट रिसीव करता है, उसके बाद उसका स्टाफ जो उसको रिसीव करता है, वहीं से उसकी विचारधारा, उस कंपनी की सोच, उसकी प्रोडक्ट की जानकारी ही उस व्यक्ति को मालूम पड़ता है। जब तक पूर्ण टीम को आप ट्रांसपेरेंट के रूप में नहीं रखेंगे, तब तक आपकी गति नहीं बढ़ सकती है। हम सोचते हैं कि कुछ सीक्रेट रखें, लेकिन दोस्तों जब तक टीम में सीक्रेट रखेंगे तब तक हम जीत नहीं सकते हैं। कि जिस तरह हमने पाकिस्तान पे तक जो है युद्ध किया और चाइना पे युद्ध किया, लेकिन सेंटर में बैठे हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर को कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है तक क्या। जब तक आप उनको हथियार नहीं दोगे तब तक वो फाइट कैसे कर सकता है। दोस्तों टीम को अपना पूर्ण हथियार मानो और उन पे पूर्ण विश्वास करो, तो सफलता कहीं आपको रोक नहीं सकती। कनेक्टिंग इंडिया बैठे हुए सभी एनआर भाइयों और इंडियन भाइयों को राम रत्ना इनविटेशन देती है, आप यहाँ आइए। हमारी सरकार ने सो स्मार्ट सिटी बनाया है। जब कभी भी आपको टेक्निकल, फाइनेंशियल, मार्केटिंग, प्रोडक्शन कहीं भी आपको ज़रूरत है, तो हम आपके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर काम करने के लिए तैयार हैं। एक नौजवान को क्या चाहिए? एक विश्वास। वो विश्वास किस तरह का? एक इनोवेशन। कभी भी व्यक्ति जो सब कुछ करता है, अगर वही करेगा तो वो सफल नहीं हो सकता है। उसमें कुछ नया इनोवेशन, कुछ R&D करने की जरूरत है। मुझे याद है जब केबल इंडस्ट्री हमने बनाए, हम पूरा टेक्निकल जर्मनी और यूरोप से लेके आए एक यूनिलिक कंडक्टर। आप विश्वास करेंगे कि इस इंडस्ट्री को लगाने के लिए हमने केबल इंडस्ट्री का एक व्यक्ति को भी नहीं लिया। 6 इंजीनियर हमने चुने, उनको जर्मनी, यूरोप पूरा भेजकर प्रोडक्शन कैसे किया जाता है वो सिखाया। और साथ साथ जब मशीनें यहाँ आई तो हमने उन लोगों को मिलाया और दोनों टीम ने मिलकर जिस तरह क्रांति ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री में मारुति उद्योग लेके आई, उसी तरह आरआर केबल क्रांति लेकर हिंदुस्तान में आया। हिंदुस्तान टेक्निकल जो है हम जर्मनी के हैं और खुशी के साथ कहते हैं कि आज पूरे यूरोप में हमारा माल जाता है, जिस तरह भाई ने बताया कि 73 कंट्री। और इन सब सफलताओं में जो साथी मेरे साथ है, हमारे विजनरी श्री गोपाल जी काबरा, हमारे ब्रांडिंग एम्बेसडर कीर्ति काबरा, हमारे सर बाला महेश काबरा, यंगस्टर विधि काबरा, और मैं जो आज यहाँ कैप्टन हूँ सिर्फ इन्हीं के कारण हूँ। अगर ये ना होते तो मैं कैप्टन नहीं होता। दोस्तों आज हम सफल व्यक्ति सब बैठे हैं और हमारी सब सफलता के लिए एक जोरदार ताली हो जाए। और इसी के साथ मेरी वाणी को विराम करता हूँ। मेरा ईमेल आईडी है tribhuvan.kabra@ramratna। 24 घंटा आपकी सेवा में हूँ, 24/7। सिंपल जीवन, सेवा में आनंद। थैंक यू सो मच।
Wasn't that inspirational for both young entrepreneurs and the ones who want to give back to foster entrepreneurship? I've been told that we have more time in this session so that we can make it more interactive. I want to get all the questions from you all for the panelists. And don't be ashamed to ask questions. I'm going to shoot the first one while you start queuing up for it. So Hardevji, one of the interesting things that you pointed out is how educational-based incubators and accelerators are getting formed. And you're truly redefining the way that both entrepreneurs can get access to capital, entrepreneurs can get access to capital, and investors can find good entrepreneurs that have already been accelerated. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Because we have a lot of interesting educational entrepreneurs in the audience, and they would want to set up incubators in their own colleges and communities.
You see, at our institute, we have looked a lot of different options for the entrepreneurs. The system, the online system which I have talked about, we are so confident on this system. Now we are going to create an entrepreneurial fund at our institute. And I've been told this is going to be the first in the world, even the USA hasn't got it. And the initial, they've been talking about very small money, and we have only spoken to some of the partners, and suddenly the amount has gone hella low. So for any entrepreneurial program, the money needs to be there, and as we are doing it, creating those funds, and a lot of people has talked about in the previous panels as well, how to create those funds. Also at the running from the youngster side, at the Nottingham, we have also created another fund called Nottingham Growth Fund. Naspuriji is not here. He was instrumental behind this one. He went to the central government saying, if you give us the money, we will create equal amount of money into it to start the fund. So the central government gave us £20 million. Nottingham City, which is the whole team is here, the economic development team, and they have also put, and local business, our business, we have put equal amount, creating a £40 million growth fund, Nottingham Growth Fund, and no city has got it. I think the similar programs need to be started here, not just the universities, but at the city level as well as the government level.
Thank you. That is a very, very interesting module that can be emulated easily in India. So Ravi, my next question is to you, because you've been involved with both the Singapore government and now you're involved with the Indian government. Where can we create this co-investing opportunities where the government participates in investing in companies and bring entrepreneurs to the table?
I think Singapore is very different from India in this regard. Primarily, I find that I think what I've noticed in Singapore is to get funding for your startup, the first $50,000, the main criteria is that you need to have a pulse. So you just have to show up with a Singaporean passport and they give you $50,000 to start with. That would be a dream in India, right? I don't think that kind of a thing is possible in the Indian context. I think what you need is some kind of a much more tight oversight function where perhaps they can form panels of angels who can then agree to mentor startups, and on that basis, the government can co-invest in, into startups. So the two systems are very different. I don't think we can quite do the co-investing model here.
Thank you. Yep.
But I think the universities are the one place where they should be starting, where you don't really need much of the government help. And we at the University of Nottingham is already tying up with hopefully with the Punjab University. And the Vice Chancellor, who was here a couple of months ago at our institute delivering a seminar lecture, and he's so keen to develop the similar program, he has offered us to put the whole institute at Punjab University without any cost. So I think there is a big appetite. It's just the government may not be looking in that context. But the university's business school should be the one taking the lead into these things.
Excellent point. Yep.
Just one last point on this. I think one way that it can happen is if the government funds, say, a set number of accelerators, in different regions across the country. So that's more of an indirect funding of startups, because if you enable the startup ecosystem, that's going to benefit the startup community. So that's probably a better way of doing it in terms of monitoring it and evaluating it more effectively.
Absolutely. Thank you. So I wanted to ask you, Manoj, you've gone from pretty much, 3 years ago, you guys weren't even together. You probably didn't know each other, to creating this business empire, right? So much so that he's one of the sponsors, by the way, of the World Hindu Congress this year. So tell us a little bit about the journey. I'm sure it's not going to be easy. There's a statement that Ravi had made last night over dinner, which says that success has a lot of fathers, but failures are often, failures are lonely orphans. So tell us about some of the failures that happened as well, because those would have taught you how to succeed even faster, right?
Well, Ram, as far as this particular concern, that is Aditya Trade Link, there is no failure stories, but prior to that, the partners that is involved in Aditya Group, they have failed in probably in their different businesses, and that probably made them qualified. And I would like to connect with both Satyaji and Raviji. Raviji was totally talking about selling skills, and Satyaji was all about raising capital. And only 3% of the business community, probably the youngsters, are born in rich business families. So, in my experience, the number one selling skill, you need, any youngsters and young entrepreneurs need in business, to sell yourself in raising capital. Once you are able to sell the brand you, so when you sell yourself to raise capital for your business, there is no product or service. You have only your willingness, your energy, and your plan is to sell. So once you are able to sell yourself, the brand you, and raise capital for your business, that is the best selling skill. If you're able to sell it and raise capital for selling your product or service, that is much easier. And of course, in my personal experience, I failed in, probably, I started my first business when I was 21, and I was doing my MBA from Madras University. Along with that studies, we have started a business educational consultancy. But, there was a story when Napoleon went and fought with England. He anchored his ships in probably the shore of England, and he has seen a huge English army, almost 10 times of his army. And his commanders and senior army officials and came and this British army is too big to fight with them. We will definitely fail, we will die. And we will go back. And what Napoleon said, he ordered, burn all the ships which we have traveled. And his subordinates obeyed the order, and they have burned the ships. So now there is only one option. Either fight and win, you can go back to your country, homeland, or else you die in the land of Britain. So I request all the youngsters, when you get into business, never just do it for an experiment. Once you get into that, get into it, fight and win. In my age of 21st, I tried a business, but I have something in my mind that if this business fails, I can go back to a job. And it happened to me in the age of 24 also. But in the age of 33, the third attempt to get into business, I have decided, raise capital to get responsible to somebody else. If you fail, you will become a debt for so much of money, so that you have to fight and win. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to open it up to the floor. I've got a few more questions, but I'm going to open it up for the floor to get some audience questions into it, please. Can everybody just queue up in the front, because it's easier then, if you don't mind.
Hare Krishna, here.
Yeah. There, please.
Pranams for all the people here in the room. Hare Krishna, nice to meet you all. I am from Colombia. I am not Hindu exactly, but I have Hindu customs from I was born, because my family is from Hare Krishna movement. So I have a question, because there are in South America 2030 young devotees making eco-yoga farms. There are farms where you can see all the idea of the simple life with highest thinking. So maybe here there are two kinds of persons who can participate in our farms. First one is the investors or something who wants to support us to make this a reality in all of South America. And the other one is the youngs or maybe the persons who want to be an entrepreneur in this project. So that's our invitation for you. If you can be part of this project, you can be with me. I am Mohana. So or maybe you can speak more about this topic. Thank you.
Yeah,
So, Satya.
thanks, Mohana, for bringing this. But just a point here, given that there would be many entrepreneurs who would be really willing to connect the potential mentors, may I request some of you, those who are interested, to possibly spend some time after this, and those of us, anybody who's interested, then they can connect it. I think that would be really good use of time of everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
My question is for Kabraji. You have told us that you would be helping out young entrepreneurs. So can you elaborate on the fields and sectors that you would be helping out?
पहले हम समझना चाहते हैं आपको किस तरह की हेल्प चाहिए, टेक्निकली, प्रोडक्शन और मार्केटिंग।
नहीं, मैं जो ये जानना चाहता हूँ वो इस तरीके से कि अलग अलग फील्ड्स की अलग अलग रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं। तो हमारे यहाँ पे बहुत सारे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं अलग अलग फील्ड से।
हाँ।
तो हम लोग को थोड़ा आइडिया मिल सके कि हम कौन से सेक्टर्स हैं जिसके ऊपर आप लोग फोकस कर रहे हैं।
देखिए, सबसे पहले मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ कि आपको वही करना जो आपका दिल कहता है, और जो दिल कहता है तो हमारी सोच आती है, जब सोच होती है तो दिमाग में आती है, दिमाग होता है तो हाथ चलता है, हाथ चलेगा तो पाँव चलेगा। आपको क्या चाहिए, इंडिविजुअली मैंने मेरा ईमेल आईडी दिया है, क्योंकि समय की कहीं बाधा है। आप मुझे हमेशा संपर्क करिए, मैं हमेशा आपके साथ हूँ।
So essentially,
Can I take this, Ram?
yeah.
Okay. So let me tell you, it would be difficult for anyone individually to say, okay, what kind of help one is willing to provide. And there would be at least, if I can just simply put the numbers together, there would be more than 200 mentors of different varieties here sitting in the audience. I would suggest that you reach out to whomsoever you feel appropriate and see if they can help you in that area, or you can obviously take help from somebody else. But I think you have to reach out to the mentor with a specific area. Importantly, you need to first convince whether you are the right mentee for him or her. I think कहते हैं ना, गुरु को सबसे पहले शिष्य को पहचानना पड़ता है. So I think you have to first get into that mode whether you are a right disciple for him to play the role of that mentor or the guru.
Thank you.
एक और प्रश्न है, काबरा जी, आपने कहा था कि आप यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को काफ़ी हेल्प करना चाहते हो, मोटिवेट करना चाहते हो। तो मेरा क्वेश्चन था कि आप कुछ ऐसे इंक्यूबेशन या फाइनेंशियली सपोर्ट करना चाहते हो, या उनको आपके साथ जॉइंट वेंचर या आपकी कंपनी में ट्रेनिंग देना चाहते हैं, किस तरह की सुविधाएं मिल सकती है?
देखिए, मैंने कहा है, जो भी मेरे साथ या कंपनी के साथ जुड़ना चाहता है तो हम हमेशा उनका स्वागत करते हैं। आप मुझे संपर्क करिए, आपको किसी तरह की कोई तकलीफ नहीं होगी, फाइनेंशियली, टेक्निकली, क्योंकि हर क्षेत्र में मेरे पास एक स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम है। आज मेरे पास यंग टीम भी है और एक्सपीरियंस टीम भी है।
Hello everyone. I have a question from Rajiv sir. So actually, a lot of people around me, a lot of friends of mine from college and everybody, they've started with their own ventures, but mostly what I see is angels invest in e-commerce businesses, like people with physical setups and everything. They do not generally want to invest. They're looking for people who have because considering this business scenario and ecosystem these days, angels really look into mostly e-commerce businesses. So I have a question, what does an angel look into while investing? Like, besides the business idea, what are other things, like what are the criteria, and what do they do if the business fails? Like,
Look, I mean, the reason people look at e-commerce or anything internet related these days is because the barriers to entry are low. Yeah. It doesn't take a lot of skill for people to set up a business in that space. It's easy to understand. Yeah. It's also easy to monitor. And the rewards are very high, right? Because if you make a successful product and you sell it in the e-commerce space, the best example is something like, say, Microsoft Windows software, right? They spent a lot of money in the development, but after that, every disk that they sell costs them zero, right? Virtually nothing. And then the profits are, they're still selling it for $100 or $300, right? So that's the thing with internet. It's fundamentally attractive because it's a disruptive force. It's something new. The barriers to entry are low, and anyone can make a mark in the internet space. When you're talking about traditional space, I've also funded some traditional companies. The path is much longer. Right? I've funded a manufacturing company. The path is 8 to 10 years before you see an actual reward. And you are entering a field where there is a lot of sharks. And I shouldn't refer to our established entrepreneurs as sharks, but people who are there for a long time, who are waiting for you to come with with your small amount of capital. So people like us are afraid of people like who are the established entrepreneurs. In that situation, you're better off finding an angel who has a specific domain knowledge in that manufacturing space, or in that, what we call offline business, and seeking their support. And there you need a much higher level of trust between both parties, because you have to believe that they're not going to take your idea and cut you out. And it works the other way as well. They have to believe that you're not out to disrupt their business and their model.
Manoj, I have a question, please.
Just to add on to that, from an entrepreneurial perspective, the reason we are fortunate to be in India, especially if you're building something in the technology space. Because if you can build something local and think global, you've got your pilot market, which is a phenomenally large billion people plus market. And you can take that same thing overseas. The big e-commerce companies like Zomato, OLX, these are Delhi-based examples, are actually popular world over now, not just in India. And that's the reason for that kind of valuation. Next question.
Manoj, this question is specifically for you. I would like to ask, what specific measures are there for especially women in Kerala? Because I'm coming from Kerala, so I would like to know what specific measures are there for women to be included in a more bigger way in the forum that they've started in Kerala. Because when I first came down from Dubai, I wanted a platform like this on an organization because I want to start something on my own. But frankly, I was at loss whom to contact, whom to get in touch with. So I want to know what specific measures have you thought of, to include women in Kerala to be, more active in this field?
Your good name?
Pratibha.
All right. You are from Kerala?
Yeah.
All right. See, having inspired by Swamiji, who is now organizing in Hindu forum in different verticals, that is youth forum and women forum, media forum. And we have already decided to have more women entrepreneurs in Hindu Economic Forum as a different vertical. Definitely, even in now this congress, we have women entrepreneurs who have come from Kerala. Dr. Rashmi, I think she is already here. Dr. Rashmi? No. Yeah, and her life itself is a very challenging. She lost her eyesight, in her first delivery of her baby. And you can, definitely I can connect you with women entrepreneurs from Kerala. Definitely we are planning for a women forum, as soon as possible. You can be a part of it, and that is definitely supported by the 1,300. At present, that is our number in Kerala, or all these businessmen. And I would like you to invite, I'm inviting you for one of our forum meetings, which happens every week. We have some ritual which is practiced in our forum chapter meeting that happens every week, 1 hour. So then you will understand, you will have more clarity how the forum in Kerala works. So
Thank you,
most
Manoj.
welcome to the forum meetings. Thank you.
Okay, namaste.
Yeah, brief responses from the speakers. Yeah?
So my question is for Raviji. You mentioned that having a mentor is fairly crucial and it can help guide you as a startup entrepreneur. What advice can you give that the advice we are receiving is sound advice and it is in the best interest of the startup entrepreneur?
That's a very good question. I generally go with experience. In pretty much everything I do, I seek a mentor. I really rarely make decisions. Even at, with whatever experience I have, I still don't make decisions on my own. This is, even in angels, we have networks. When we invested, for example, in Ram's company, there were about half a dozen of us who all had different experiences. And we sort of mentored each other, and we continue to mentor each other and work with Ram. So the mentorship goes both ways. So entrepreneur is also teaching a lot of things to the mentor. So it's just a question of building the trust and finding people with experience. Thank you.
Hello. Hi, namaskar. I'm an entrepreneur with a team of three. Yes, a smart Marwadi, a Sanki Brahman, and
Last two questions.
Karja Sardar. Yeah. My question is to the panel, primarily three people, Ravi, Mr. Hadevji, and Mr. Satya. That is there a form, because in India, what we found out with our experience, most of the VCs or angel investors, they talk in percentage terms, not in multiple terms. So when that change of risk appetite of investors would come into multiple terms, because that is something which is missing in India. And are you doing something about some forum or something for those investors? Tell them how they can, talk to people like us and probably think in multiple terms.
I think that was already covered in the presentations itself.
Maybe I'll suggest that we have a separate discussion on this. This may be appropriate questions to be taken offline.
I just want to say one small thing. We have a saying in the angel community, before we invest, the entrepreneur has a vision, the angel has the money. After investment, the entrepreneur has the money and the angel is left with the vision.
So great session, right? All the speakers are going to be around today as well as tomorrow. So please do find them. You can ask your one-on-one questions with them and seek advice. Again, find others who are in the audience, who raise their hands saying they would love to help out, and have conversations with them. That's the fastest way for our Hindu prosperity itself, is via successful entrepreneurs supporting young Hindu entrepreneurs. Up next, we have, shall I? Okay.
Thank you, panelists. It was an excellent session. We would like to invite Ms. Kajal Valani Sheth to come on the stage to make the announcement for WHEF 2015 session in London. Ms. Kajal, please. And we request you, please don't leave the hall now. There is going to be another very important networking PowerPoint presentation, etc. The announcement will be made shortly. Can you please kindly sit down, please? Please sit down. Please sit down. There is going to be a very important announcement now. Kindly sit down.
नमस्कार. आप क्या सो रहे हो सब? नमस्कार. Okay. So can we please have the video? And I hope you're all going to stay awake. I'm just going to take 5 minutes of your time.
The World Hindu Economic Forum is coming to London. Our mission of the World Hindu Economic Forum is to make society prosperous by investing in the youth of tomorrow. Our primary objective is to promote the activities of developing enterprise and entrepreneurship globally, and promote a value-based governance system through organizing seminars, conferences, and research activity. One of the principal ways in which we hope to achieve our objectives is to empower Hindus to help them achieve their economic goals. Our focus is to nurture and bring about new initiatives to make positive changes in society. The United Kingdom has the world's second highest NRI millionaires after the US, with estimated wealth of around $50 billion. Major British businesses in India are partnering with locals in India, which is helping the international economy. The conference will bring together traders, bankers, investors, industrialists, businessmen, professionals, and youth, so that each group of Hindus can share their business knowledge, experience, and expertise. Hindus globally have become ever more successful and are contributing considerably to their local communities. With this thought in mind, and how Asians do business in the UK, the conference will create a forum of positive discussion in the respective fields. London is the first global cosmopolitan city in world history, far exceeding in its cultural diversity and economic footprint. It's a city of vibrant cultures and an array of tourist attractions. What better setting to host the World Hindu Economic Forum 2015?
Thank you. Now, who's got a mobile phone with them? Everyone? Can I see your phone in the air? Let me see your phones in the air. This is something that a youth forum do, so I just want to see everybody put your phones in the air. Yeah? Now get your phone and put it on silent. And then put it back in your pocket. Now, I hope you all enjoy the teaser video. We are hosting the next WHF session in London on September the 11th to 13th, 2015. Please mark this date in your diaries. Our objectives for the WHF London conference is addressing our commitment to the youth. Making society prosperous by investing in the youth of tomorrow, we want to help in developing tomorrow's entrepreneurs. We aim to assist in networking, developing and uniting Hindu entrepreneurs in the UK and across the globe. And build new Hindu businesses, alliances targeting UK business sectors. Members on our WHEF London Steering Committee have many contacts whom they will invite to the conference to allow you access to key people in your preferred business sector. So why London? Let's look at some facts. There are 104 billionaires and 9,700 multi-millionaires who call London their home city. 1 in every 35 people in London own assets worth more than £1 million. London economy is the same size as Sweden. It exports 92 billion worth, and its gross domestic product is greater than Belgium and Switzerland. There are 841,000 private sector businesses based in London. London provides an easy access to Europe. It's the largest single market, and it's the main European financial centre. In the UK, in the last 20 years, London has really developed in its diversity and inclusion of ethnic communities. Indians, and more notably Hindus, are at the top of many fields and have really made their mark in London. London is the most ethnically diverse capital in Europe. 12.09% of Greater London population are Asian, which equates to approximately 1 million people. Indian families have spent a combined worth of 1 billion buying properties in London in the last 12 months. So, what are the achievements for WHEF? Since inception of WHEF, our success has been to motivate and organize Hindu businesses worldwide at various locations. WHEF has conducted economic forums in Hong Kong, Bangkok, South Africa, and of course here in Delhi. Each conference has given an opportunity and a platform to Hindu business people, and WHF London will be no exception. Alongside having a youth session, our aim is to have each area of this conference run by youth with guidance from more experienced members. I myself am a prime example of someone who falls into the youth category, believe it or not, and have been given the honour of coordinating the WHF London 2015. So what's our commitment? We will assist, provide and support our youth with hosting accommodation in the UK and providing an opportunity to network with like-minded business entrepreneurs. We aim to help businesses increase their activities by engaging with each other and create a common platform for Hindu entrepreneurs to meet and discuss business opportunities and challenges, and ultimately become the voice for the Hindu business world. Now, our website has been launched today. It's www.wheflondon.com. I'd like to announce this team that I'm working with, the steering committee. We have Anil Puri, who is a co-director and chairman of WHF. Anilji, please stand up so everybody knows who you are. We have Subhash Thakrar, who is vice chairman. Subhash, please come up here. We have Gautam Sen, Hiten Shet, Hardev Singh, and Hasmukhji Shah. Please come to the dais. I will announce it. And Natharamji also will be the patron of London WHEF CIC. Now, before I leave you, I just want to make sure you all understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. Sangathan mein Shakti hai. Can you all repeat this with me? Sangathan mein Shakti hai. In unity, there is strength. We must all unite to drive the economy forward and generate surplus wealth. Generating surplus wealth equals military domination, political domination, and allows us to have overall governance. So support us, attend WHF London 11th to 13th September, and let's create a Hindu-dominated economic world. Jai Hind. Yes.
you've seen what we're planning for London. My team and myself, we welcome you all to London for next year. Put those dates in your diary, and we hope to see you there next year. Thank you.
And I would like to invite Mr. Srinivasan and Sanjay from Bangkok to come over here, along with Mr. Arun Bajaj. They will be explaining to you how the networking session will be specifically focused in the same room. We will be reconvening after the break. This session will start exactly at 5:30. So we request all of you to come back at 5:30. Please be seated. Let Mr. Arun Bajaj, Srinivasan and Sanjay talk to you something about this networking session. Thank you.
This networking session is a very important session. We have made in PowerPoint presentations. Srinivasan ji and Sanjay ji has done a lot of work on this. मैं चाहूँगा कि सभी लोग इस PowerPoint presentation को देखें ताकि किस प्रकार से हम यहाँ पर networking session करेंगे तो you have to understand it. और दूसरे हमारे स्टीयरिंग कमेटी के सभी मेंबर यहाँ पर प्रेजेंट हैं. हम उनको आपके सामने इंट्रोड्यूस भी कराना चाहेंगे क्योंकि उसके बाद में कल प्लेनरी सेशन है. तो मैं चाहूँगा कि आप 10 मिनट का समय दें और PowerPoint प्रेजेंटेशन को अवश्य देखें because this is the most important session for this World Hindu Economic Forum. So I will request Sanjay to present PowerPoint presentation before you.
हेलो नमस्ते. अभी दो चीज़ें कॉमन थी प्रेजेंटेशंस में. एक तो यूथ की बात थी और दूसरी थी नेटवर्किंग की. तो जस्ट 2 लाइन में बताता हूँ आपको मैं कि यूथ क्या होता है. व्हाट इज़ यूथ? जो पहाड़ों से टकराए उसे तूफान कहते हैं. जो पहाड़ों से टकराए उसे तूफान कहते हैं. जो तूफानों से टकराए उसे नौजवान कहते हैं. नौजवान वो है जिसकी गर्दन में खम नहीं. नौजवान वो है जिसकी गर्दन में खम नहीं जो रण में दुश्मन से कहे या हम नहीं या तुम नहीं. पहले WHEF बैंकॉक से पहले हांगकांग में था, फिर बैंकॉक में था और अब दिल्ली में है. 2-3 चीज़ें बड़ी कॉमन हैं कि वाई आई शुड अटेंड WHEF. दूसरा क्वेश्चन है व्हाट इज इट फॉर मी. मैं क्यों एज ए डेलीगेट वाई आई शुड अटेंड WHEF. और दूसरा कि इफ़ आई कम हेयर व्हाट आई विल गेट आउट ऑफ दैट. इन 2 चीज़ों को ध्यान में रख करके हमने अपने नेटवर्किंग सेशन को रीस्ट्रक्चर किया. And we have sent a circulation to all the delegates. I hope many of you have received that email. We would like to know your interest, what you are expecting from this WHEF networking session. What are the expectations, how you are going to achieve that. So I would like to inform you that we have got very good response. Almost 50% of people responded back to us and they said, I am interested, I am an investor, I have money and I want to invest that money. And some people said, I have a technology, I want to have some money for the technology to go to the capital market access. So I would like to mention that when you go out from the room, you will get this paper, sheet 3-4 papers. All the people who have show their interest that they are going to have whatever requirement they have, whatever expectation they have, we have listed those people here and they can network with each other. That's one question. So when you go out from the exit gate, please take one copy of this, and when you come back, you will identify people. Okay, I am interested in this one, and I will meet that person. Okay, that's. Now I would like to start the presentation how we have structured this networking session. Before because we are coming back here at another half an hour, 1 hour, so just want to make sure that you bring your business cards with you. So the basic rules: you keep your business card handy with you. And if you have some pamphlets, promotional materials that you want to give to the people, make sure you bring along with you. And then this is a very short period of time. We are having a 2 hours networking session, so I hope that you will make best use of time meeting like-minded people and explain your business interest and try to get something out of that. Then we understand that there's some privacy issues here, so it's respect the privacy. If somebody don't want to tell you the mobile numbers, okay, fine. But let's start discussing now and identify the requirements and try to get the answer of those questions. Then we are here as a facilitator. Our job is to facilitate. We have to bring the investors and project developers together so that they understand what they need and how they will get it. And then there's a follow-up meeting after this, I think it's some late night evening. So if you have further discussions, you can have a small group meetings in room number 293, which is at the second floor. Okay, the concept is Hindu Rise. I'm not sure there's some media people, social media people who are sitting here. They have done this campaigning through Twitter. So we thought that it's better to connect with this networking session as well. So we have divided the whole crowd, business delegates, into 4 categories. The first category is services in the left side. So services means that anybody who is doing service sector, who is working in service sectors, they're welcome to join the service group. The second part, right side, is joint ventures, collaborations, partnerships. Any companies are doing this kind of work. We have about 70 people who have shown interest in the joint venture. So I request them to go to this group. So the hall, this same hall, divided into the four portions, 4 corners. So one will be the joint ventures, second will be investors, third will be the entrepreneurs and investors, third services, and fourth one is the traders, where the import-export will join together. So please make sure that your corner is here, and which corner you want to go and who you want to meet. You have the list of the people who you can connect with. How this process will work. So first of all, you try to choose your interest out of 4. And people who did not pick up any interest, we have a 5th sector which is called other businesses. They can go to the Kalinga room, which is right side of this, outside this hall. So they can go there and they network with each other over there. So first of all, this where to choose the interest. Either you are part of services, technology, or you are involved in the joint ventures. So you choose that interest and then find out that corner and go there. If you need any help, we also have lined up the facilitators for this networking session. So each corner will have 2 facilitators. Mr. Srinivasan will give you the details about that, who are these people and how they will help you. And the third one is talk to the people. Communication is important. If you have to communicate that, okay, I'm interested, how I can go more fast to that. And then find the partner. Finding partners is challenging because it's very difficult to get anything out of this 30 minutes or 1 hour session. So basically, I think that you have to plan a pitch. Okay, this is what I am, this is what I want, and these are my expectations. I'm looking for the partner. Are you interested? And then go to the business meetings after that. So that's how the process will work. And the last option is when you think something is going positive. Okay, I got an investor who is interested in my project, and he asked me the details of the project. Then you go there, there's a ring, clap. There's a ring there, bell there, you can press the bell. So people know there's something happening, interesting. They press the bell and then tell other people, okay, something happened here. So it will motivate others to do something similar. So that's the process here. I hope everybody understands the process, how it will work. The concept of idea is just created before 30 minutes. Idea means identify, discuss, engage, act. I will request now Mr. Srinivasan to explain this concept here. Thank you very much.
Namaste. Now I'm going to be talking about something that is very obvious to you all, so I'm not going to take a lot of time. Basically, we want to make sure that this is over in 90 minutes, so we don't want to do it, a long thing that you should be able to achieve maximum things. So generally, we are suggesting that when you meet a person, you introduce yourself in 2 minutes. That's called elevator pitch. And then you listen to the other person in 2 minutes. If you think you can take it forward, then you give a high five, clap, do thumping of the desk or something and move forward and talk to them. You can talk to them here, outside, wherever you want to. If not, then you go ahead and you match another person. You talk to them for 2 minutes. You understand what is your requirement, what's their requirement, and then you go forward. This sheet, 230 people almost filled up on the survey. This has all the names based on your interest and their interest. So wherever it is matching, you should look for those names in the break time. So when you come back to your zone, you find the person faster and you don't have to hunt down. So you can say, hey, who's this person, Mr. X, and I want to talk to that person. That's the idea. Initiate, discuss. You can discuss it openly. You can discuss it in a very open, frank manner. So it is as much as possible engaging. Once this is done, it is not going to be over in this 90 minutes. So I request you to meet them over the dinner, in the evening time, you know, after the dinner, or even next day, tomorrow. Take it forward. The business doesn't happen over 90 minutes, but it will be a good start. In 292, room number 292 is made available for all of you to have a discussion there. It's available up to 9:30, 10:30. So use the time as much as possible. One thing I will tell you guys, that the business, you all know that it is not based on technology or anything. It's only about people. So as long as people mingle, business will happen. And then one thing I would request, you note down on a paper what you discuss, the scope. So you know you have to get back to them and you make a business forward. We have facilitators. I request if some of the facilitators available to come over here on the desk. These are all our steering members and some other members in the industry. They are also part of the networking session. They are also the investors. They are also the deal makers. So I would say that, you know, those people come over as I introduce if they are available here. For joint venture technology, Shri Anil Puri ji, Shri Devdasa ji, and Shri Naresh Kumar and Sajjan Bhajanka ji, they will be helping. These are all successful business people in their own field, and they will make sure that they facilitate your networking, and say maybe, you know, they will also be investor joint venture in your future. For services industry, there are a lot of interest in services, but there are very few companies that say they want services. But once they hear about services, maybe it will change. Everybody needs some third-party intervention. So we have Shri Naresh Jain ji and Shri Pannalal Bansali ji, who are also in that particular field. They will be able to help you and also collaborate with you guys. There are a lot of traders, surprisingly a lot of traders and manufacturers. So we have 4 people, Shri Datuk ji, Manoj Motwani ji, Subhash Agrawal ji, and Vinod Kumar ji. They will be able to help you with this. Entrepreneurs, there are not many people saying I have a lot of money in my pocket and I want to invest, but there are a lot of people who say I want investment. When I talk to people, there are investors here, a lot of them. They just don't want to say it publicly. So the people here, Shri Jaydayal ji, Subhash Takrar ji, and Sushil Saraf ji, they will be able to help you find those investors. They are themselves also investors. Other than that, there were few investors too available. There is also going to be a panel of observers who will be roaming around, making sure that the process happens and process happens right, and they will also be helping to make sure this is a successful thing. From Shri Anil Bharadwaj, who was there from FISME, head of the FISME, he is also here to help those small to medium enterprises to make sure that they achieve their best. And I request all the steering committee members to come over here so you guys know who are your facilitators. So after the session, you know you can catch them. If they are there. Hey, all the observers and facilitators. Any other, Anil Bharadwaj, you're there? Panalal ji is here, Naresh Kumar ji. So I'll quickly go through from joint ventures. Do we have anybody? I want to know if who are the people from joint venture and technology transfer, if they can identify themselves.
We are service age.
Okay. Joint ventures and technology transfer, okay, at least one person is here, so you know you can contact that person.
For services,
for traders, manufacturers, I want to know if anybody from that particular field would like to identify. Manoj ji, please identify yourself for traders, manufacturers. Anybody else? I'll go back. Those who are from the joint ventures, technology transfer, please raise your hand if you guys are there in the... Huh? Huh? Names. Okay. Shri Anil Puri ji, Devdasa ji, Naresh Kumar ji, and Sajjan Bhajanka ji. If you are there, please raise your hand. Okay. For services, Shri Naresh Jain ji and Pannalal Bansali ji, if you are there, please raise your hand. Know your facilitator. Traders, Shri Datuk Sahadevan ji, Manoj Motwani ji, Subhash Agrawal ji, and Vinod Kumar ji. If you are there, these are the people you should be contacting. From entrepreneurs and investors, very important for entrepreneurs, Jay Dayal ji, Subhash Akrar ji, and Sushil Saraf ji. If you are there, okay, all of them are there. That's a full house. So you will have no shortage of money. And from panel of observers, Arun Bajaj ji, Avdesh Goyal ji, Gautam Sen ji, and Dr. R. Vaidyanath ji, and Anil Bharadwaj ji. Are you there in the audience somewhere? Okay, he will be there. Huh? Okay. Okay, and then any questions, we will take it, or you want to come over after the 5:30, we will take any questions if you have, and we will rearrange this hall to match the 4 quadrants, and there's going to be another one at the Kalinga, but you all come here before you go to Kalinga. Okay, Naresh Jainji, you are there in services. Naresh Jainji will be there for services. All right, thank you very much.